Hello, everyone. Hello, wonderful beings. Welcome. Welcome to the 56th episode of Wheel of Wisdom. I would love to know which part of the world you are joining us from. Hi, Caitlin. Hi, it's so nice to see you here. Always present at the start. I so really appreciate your support and your presence each time I tune into these lives. It means a lot, really. So thank you for being here. And how are you, by the way? How are you doing today? So Caitlin is joining us from New York, and it is 8:30 a.m. there. Can't stay the whole time, but wanted to do the meditation at least. I so appreciate it. I understand the mornings can be so busy. So yeah, I really appreciate whenever you and each time you make the time to be here. And I hope that you like today's meditation. Okay, so it seems like, there are not a lot of people here today because, yeah, I just checked. There are like a lot of other wonderful teachers live going on at the same moment. So, yeah, I so appreciate that you choose to be here. Caitlin says, but I will get to utilize the replays later. Yeah, that's what the replay is for, so you don't get to miss anything. Okay, so let's begin with today's meditation. I don't want to make you wait any longer. So, Caitlin, are you ready for the meditation today? Okay, Caitlin is ready for the meditation. And anyone else who just joined, feel free to, drop a hi. Um, I think I see Amber here. Hi, Amber. Welcome. Amber says, "Hola, lovely folks." Welcome, Amber. It's so nice to see you here after so long. Yeah, so Amber is also ready for the meditation. Wonderful. And there is another person joining us, Eliza. Eliza is joining us from Chicago. Hello, Eliza. Welcome. So happy to see you here. Okay, Eliza and everyone else, we're going to, begin with a meditation. So are you all set, Eliza, for the meditation? Because we have ready from Amber and Caitlin. So are you ready to dive in? Okay, wonderful. So Eliza is ready as well. Okay, so let's dive in. Begin by coming into a comfortable position. You can either stand, sit, or lie down, whatever your body needs right now. Feel free to move your body just to get a little bit more comfortable, and know that for the whole duration of the meditation, you can adjust your body anytime you need to make yourself as comfortable as you can be. So, as you settle into this posture, allow your eyes to either close completely, all the way down, or alternatively, you can choose to just lower your gaze, looking at the floor 2 or 3 feet in front of you. This is to help us limit any form of visual distraction so that we can turn our awareness inward. Let your hands rest wherever they land naturally. And now allow yourself to take a deep breath in and a slow breath out. Continue to breathe deeply and slowly like this. With each breath, letting yourself arrive in this moment, not to do anything perfectly, but simply to be. You don't need to figure anything out right now. You don't need to do anything else, and you don't need to be anywhere else but here. As you arrive in this present moment with your breath, just let yourself feel that you have a body. Even if you can't feel much, your body is still here. No matter where your mind is, but your body is in the here and now. Even if you have ignored your body, it hasn't abandoned you. Even if you have always lived in your mind, it's safe to come back home in your body. So that's exactly what we are going to do in this practice. We are going to use this opportunity to return to our body, not to fix anything, but to notice, to listen. So let's begin with a quick scan of the body. Remember, we are here to notice, not to judge, and not to change anything about our body. We are here to just meet ourselves as we are. So let's start the scan with your feet. Can you sense any contact with the ground or floor? Scanning your feet to see that are they warm or cool? Are they tensed or perhaps numb? Noticing the sensations present in your feet right now. Now move up to your legs, noticing their weight, noticing that are they holding any tightness or restlessness. Noticing any other sensations present in your leg. All of it is welcome in this moment. Now bring your awareness to your hips and your lower back. This area holds so much for many of us. So notice if you feel any pressure or fatigue, or perhaps nothing at all. So there is a feeling of numbness. Letting all of it to exist for this moment. Now bring your attention to your belly, noticing that is there a sense of fullness, or perhaps lightness, or maybe your stomach is holding on to anything, any tension or tightness. Don't worry about what it should feel like. Just be present with what is. And now your chest, noticing the rise and fall of your chest with each breath. Notice, what do you feel like? Do you feel anything in your chest area, like a constriction, ache, warmth, or perhaps openness? Can you be with whatever is here without needing to name it yet? Now, bring your awareness to your shoulders, your arms, and your hands. Are they carrying weight, physical or emotional? Allow them to relax just a little bit if they want to. And now move up to your neck and your entire face, noticing if there is any stiffness or pain in your neck. Noticing if your jaw is tight, and finally noticing if the muscles around your eyes are holding on to any tension. Allow your face and your head to release any tension that it no longer wants to carry. Now, gently step back and sense your whole body at once, becoming aware of your body from head to toe. And as you arrive in your body, allow the following affirmations that I am going to say in a few moments to sink deeper within you. And if you feel like, you can also repeat them out loud or silently in your mind. I am learning to listen. I am learning to feel whatever is here. My body is wise even when I don't understand it. It's safe to return to my body one breath at a time. Each time you practice this, you are taking a step closer to develop a healthy relationship with your body. Because the foundation of this is in the awareness, and we have taken that first step today to become aware of our body as it is. Thank yourself for taking out the time to be there with your body. You did great. Now, whenever you are ready, allow yourself to come back by wiggling your toes and your fingers, and gently, with a deep inhale, opening your eyes. connecting back with the environment around you. If you feel like you can move your body or hydrate yourself, welcome back. So, if you feel called to, you can share about your experience of the meditation in the comments. And if you don't feel like typing, then you can just press the heart somewhere here to let me know that the meditation resonated with you. Thank you for the hearts. I appreciate that. Thank you, Elisa. I'm glad that you enjoyed the meditation. Okay, I see that some new people have joined us while we were meditating. So, welcome to all of you to the 56th episode of Wheel of Wisdom. And I want to let you know that this was just one part of this live, and there is a lot more left. So, stay tuned until I read the comments so that we can move on to the fun part and dive into the wisdom, tap into the wisdom. By the way, it is, interesting. I'm seeing a lot of six today. And here are like there are also six people here present right now. And I appreciate all six of you for being here. Okay, so Caitlin says, Anisha, that was powerful and relaxing for me. I absolutely loved the scent of saying we all did great. Thanks so much for your guidance and sparkle and everything. Oh, thank you, Caitlin. Yeah. I guess we all always enjoy that. A little bit of like an encouragement or a compliment in some way. So yeah, thank you for sharing that. You like that. And I will add that to my future meditations as well. And thank you for staying, for the meditation, Caitlin. I so appreciate that. Amber says, my screen says there are 36 folks here. Strange. Yeah, so there are kind of like two numbers right now on Insight Timer interface, since it has changed. So one says that, how many people joined. So 36 people have joined in the live, and only six people are present here. So they might have joined and they might have left due to some work, or they might not have resonated or not have, known what is going on. So for some reason, 36 people joined. Out of those, six people stayed. So that's why I said six. Um, yeah, and earlier it used to just show, how many people joined for me as well. But after the update, this has changed. Caitlin says, yes, our count says how many people have visited total. Yeah, you're welcome, Amber. Okay, so now are you guys ready to spin the wheel and see what wisdom wants to come for you today? Type ready in the comments if you are, and then we will start and we will spin the wheel. And until you guys respond, if anyone like enjoyed the meditation and would like to support me, then you can do so by making a donation. Let me like post that here. And if not, that's okay. I so appreciate your presence, just as much. Caitlin says, "Oh, yeah, I gotta see the title, then I gotta run. Sending love to all." Thank you, Caitlin, for, tuning in. I always appreciate your presence here. Jessica is ready. Yeah, Jessica is ready for, receiving the wisdom. Amber says, opening to receptivity mode. Beautiful, wonderful. Okay. So, since everyone is feeling more open and, receptive, let's dive in and let's spin the wheel. So, my beautiful, wonderful people, this is our wheel of wisdom. It's okay if you cannot see the names because this wheel, or let me say, like, universe or God or divine or consciousness, higher self, whatever you call it, is going to choose a book for us to do a reading from. So, before I spin the wheel, I invite you guys to take a moment to think what is it, what is going on in your life that you would like to receive some guidance on. Perhaps there is an area of your life in which you would like to receive some clarity or direction. So bring that thing, bring that topic to the forefront of your mind. And if there is nothing specific that you have in mind that you would like to receive some wisdom on, then you can just set an intention in your mind or in the comments that I am open to receive some general guidance for today. So take your time to think about something or set a general intention. And when you are done, type done in the comments, and then I can spin the wheel and we all can receive the wisdom. Eliza says done, Amber says done. Wonderful. Okay, then let's begin. So, holding that, that thing in the forefront of your mind as I spin the wheel. Okay, so the book that has been chosen for all of us here is Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. Sorry. I also see the opposite. Yeah. So the name of the book is Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, and this book has been written by Dr. Joe Dispenza. So let's see what the book is about, what this book has for us today. And it is pretty interesting. Like, we got this book because I was just reading another book. So I like reading books. And yeah, and I read a chapter in that book which was about forgetting the self, meaning kind of like, meaning letting go of the concept of self or the identity that we have created of ourselves in our minds, So letting go of that. And in that particular chapter, it was about, coming back to the here and now. But let's see what this book has for us. So, by being yourself, when it says that break the habit of being yourself, so you all, might see yourself in a certain way that I'm a shy person, I am a rude person, I am a kind person. So, we have all these, a conception, a mental model of ourselves and we behave accordingly. So if I'm a shy person, I'm not going to be the one who is going to be the center of the party, and I'm not going to be the one that is going to reach out and talk to a lot of people. So we behave accordingly. So, yeah, kind of this book is about, breaking the habit of being yourself, that concept of yourself and letting go of it if it is no longer serving you. So, yeah, I just find interesting that that came up for us today. Jacqueline says, hello, Anisha and all. Hi, Jacqueline. It's so nice to see you here again. Okay, guys. So let's see what this book holds for us. So what I have done is that as I was reading all of these books, I made notes of like the powerful insights or the transformational exercises from these books. And yeah, and these are my notes kind of. So what I'm going to do is now is that I'm going to set an intention for all of us here. And then I am going to tune into my own intuition by closing my eyes and scrolling through the page of the book until I feel like this is a section that I need to stop because this is something that, we all need to hear. So when I feel called to stop at a particular section that I feel like everyone present needs to hear at this moment, then we're going to, then I'm going to open my eyes and read that segment and then we can discuss about that. So let's start. May you leave this life with a heart full of joy and the clarity of your next steps. So let's see. Okay, let's see what came up. Amber says, that was my word for this night or day, joy. I'm glad that the intention, aligned with the word that came up for you, the intention that you set for today or tonight. It's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, so the author says, I have just talked about aligning our thoughts and feelings to produce the result we want. Yet, in the process, letting go of the details surrounding how that event will come about. That's a leap of faith, and it is necessary if we are to exchange a life of humdrum, a life of predictable outcomes for a joyful life of new experiences and quantum surprises. I am glad, that this word joy is coming up a lot. And since we set an intention for joy, the author has helped us in terms of how to live a joyful life. And the author says that so oftentimes, we have this like a plan in our heads that, you know, if I want this, if I want to feel peaceful, if I want to feel happy, I need to do this thing, I need to have this, and then I can do this. So I need to have money in order to, create an organization and do this, and then I will be happy. So we have like a whole, plan and we think that that is the only way to be happy. If you will reflect on your current plans in terms of what you want, you will realize that you have something in your mind that, I can only achieve that if I do this or if I have this and then I do this. So we have all of this in our minds. We have the whole plan set. But what the author invites us, the author named Dr. Joe Dispenza invites us, is to have a leap of faith, meaning that drop the how of getting there. So have the clarity as to what you want in your life, what joyful life would look like, which very rarely people have actually, because we have learned, because society has taught us that we need to do this, or have this, and then we would, live a joyful life. But that is not the same for every person. Different person feel happy, so so a successful or a happy or a joyful life can be different for different people. And we have just a set, standard by society, which promises us that we are going to have, a happy life at the end. And most of the times, when I ask my clients that what that is, usually people don't have any idea. They are like, oh, I will have a lot of money. I will, live a comfortable life, but they don't have clarity on that. So getting there means first having the clarity on that, not on how you're going to reach there. Most of the time, people have a lot of clarity on this thing, but not the end thing. That what would a joyful, happy, fulfilling, successful life look like for you? So that is my take on this, that, first have the clarity. And then what the author says is that drop the how, leave the how to the universe. And that is, I think, the same thing that I heard when I was attending, I think, another teacher live on manifestation. And what she invited us was to do the same, to drop the how, to drop the details, to drop the exact plan. Because you might have noticed that things don't go according to our plan. Life don't work according to our plan. And, there's something else that happens. So drop the plan and first focus on getting clarity on this thing, like what is joyful and successful and a happy life for me, whatever, however you define it. Maybe you want a peaceful life, not a successful one. So what does that look like for you? Getting clarity on that. And then, when you will do that, you will understand what are the important elements from that you need in your life to feel fulfilled. And they might not be the same that you previously thought. They might not be money, because money is not the end goal. What we feel from what we buy from money is what we really want, is what our mind really want. Our mind want to feel that way. And that is why, the author also says that to align our feelings, and that is an important part of it. Like when you imagine that vision, just not imagine it with a neutral kind of like, okay, I will have this kind of like, that mindset, but actually really feel what it would be like, just connect to the feelings of it, just be in that fully. So imagine the details of this, of what you want in the end, of what joyful life would look like, what would bring you joy, and drop the details of this. And by dropping the details, I'm not saying just don't do anything. Do stuff, that you think, take the next first or second or third step, whatever you have in your mind. Just take those steps. But if something goes like here and there, know that that plan that you had in your mind, maybe in fact initially have that expectation that that plan is not going to go exactly as you have in your mind. Something might, just bring a little bit more flexibility. What I mean by faith is that bring a flexibility to that plan. So um that is what came up for me when I read that paragraph. Hmm. So Hi, Lindsay. Good morning. Welcome back again. So nice to see you here. And there is an additional paragraph that I think fits here. So the author further says, "Can you give thanks and feel the elevated emotions associated with a desired event before it occurs? Can you imagine that reality so completely that you begin to be in that future life now? In terms of quantum creating, can you give thanks for something that exists as a potential in the quantum field but has not yet happened in your reality? If so, you are moving from cause and effect, meaning waiting for something outside of you to make a change inside of you. Again, waiting for something outside of you to make a change inside of you. So you're moving from this cause and effect to causing an effect, which means changing something inside of you to produce an effect outside of you. Again, changing something inside of you to produce an effect outside of you. So, if we can give thanks, if we can, feel and show gratitude for a possibility, because it is a possibility, right? If we think about it, it is a possibility that whatever you want might occur. So, we are not, lying to ourselves. That is a very fair possibility. So, can you just feel gratitude that that is a possibility for you? You know, just tuning into what it would be like and then feeling gratitude that that is a possibility for you. And if you can do that, then you're going to move from cause and effect, where we rely on something outside to make us feel a certain way, to causing an effect. So you are the one causing an effect by changing something inside of you. And when you change something inside of you, meaning when you feel gratitude, because gratitude is like a very faster way to, tune into those higher frequency. So when you change that about you, then the effect, the outside of you changes. So when you are in a state of gratitude, you transmit a signal into the field into the field that an event has already occurred. Because what you want lies in that higher frequency. If you want to feel peaceful, if you want to feel joy or happiness, all of that lies in that higher frequency. And when we, you know, practice gratitude for a possibility of that life in a quantum reality, then, by feeling that gratitude, we are also tuned into that higher frequency in which that thing that we want is there. So now we are more aligned with that compared to before when we were in that, lacking mindset of focusing on, I want this, but I'm here, so I lack all of this. So that is an invitation from the author. And that can be one of the practices, you can just each day or once a week, you can just, journal or visualize that life and feel gratitude for it. That, yeah, that is a possibility for me. So there goes our first reading. And if anyone would like to, share anything about it, you guys can feel free to do so. And now, hmm, should we continue with the same book, which is Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Dr. Joe Dispenza? So, would you guys like me to continue with the same book or should we spin again? So, should we choose a different book? So, please vote in the comments, same book or a different book for the next reading. Noni says spin. Okay, thank you, Noni, for your vote. Amber says same book yet, open to fresh spin. Okay, so Amber is okay with both, it seems like. Other people, you can also vote. Would you like me to continue with the same book? Or would you like me to choose a different book for the next reading? Maybe one more vote and then we can, decide where we want to go. So at least one vote. Okay, thank you, Lindsay. So Lindsay says spin. Okay, so it seems like people want me to spin to choose a different book. Okay, let's do that. Thank you for that beautiful heart, Jacqueline. So, thank you for the hearts, guys. Thank you, Amber, and everyone. So, let's see what wants to come next. So, holding whatever it is that you need guidance on today. And here we go. Quite a big book. Okay. So, the book that came up for us today is The Mindful Way Through Depression. And this book has been written by Mark Williams, John T. Stale, Zindel Siegel, and John Kabat-Zinn, who is also, by the way, the one who brought mindfulness to the West. So let's see what this book has for us. The Mindful Way Through Depression. So let me show you the main page for this. Amber says John Kabat-Zinn is inside timer quotes today. Is inside timers quote today too. Oh, I didn't notice that. Somehow I skipped today's. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Thank you, Amber. Yeah. A lot of alignment happening today, Amber, especially with you and yeah, with this. So let me read that quote for you guys. So the quote by John Kabat-Zinn is at the deepest level, there is no giver, no gift, and no recipient. Only the universe rearranging itself. Yeah, so it kind of highlight another thing that I was recently reading about, like how we all are, one. The essence of it is that, you know, how everything is one and the same. Like, we are everything and we are nothing both at the same time. So, let's see. Jacqueline says, wow, yes, very cool. Meant to be. Exactly. This book was meant to come. So let's see what, wants to come through from this book, what wisdom wants to come through. And by the way, this is like the title page of this book, The Mindful Way Through Depression. And the subtitle is Breaking Yourself, sorry, freeing yourself from chronic unhappiness. So I also have to like read through the mirror image. So yeah, I make mistakes as well. Okay, so now let's have some fun. So, okay, give me a moment to choose the page numbers before I ask you guys to play with me. Okay, okay. So, in a moment, I am going to ask you guys to choose a number. I am going to give you the numbers between which you have to choose. And I want to let you know that you don't need to, like, choose a number fast or, be hasty about it. You can take your time and share the number that you are feeling, that is coming up for you, and mention that number in the comments. And why I say that there is no hurry is because I'm not going to choose the number that is like on the top, but instead I'm going to go through the numbers and I'm going to choose a number that I feel called to from all of those numbers. So we are going to tune into your intuition as well as mine to choose our next reading. And whatever, number comes up, so whoever mentioned that number, so supposedly Jacqueline mentioned that number or Amber mentions that number, it doesn't mean that that reading is specifically for Jacqueline or, Amber. It is for everyone present here because we are here because we were meant to hear that message. We were meant to receive that wisdom at this point in our life. So, and Jacqueline or Amber or any other person whose number we choose is just a source of that wisdom. Okay, so having that said, I invite you guys to choose a number between 24 to 240. Here, I have mentioned in the comments. So take a minute to see what number comes up for you. Okay, Jacqueline has chosen 225. Debu has chosen 30. Okay, thank you guys. Lindsay has chosen 44. Eliza has chosen 39. Amber has chosen 36. Okay, so let's begin. Since no one else is, adding any numbers, and if you feel like you can add them. Jacqueline likes Lindsay's number, which is 44. Hmm. I love, how when you guys choose the numbers and other people kind of aligns with that or supports that or resonates with it. That is amazing. Okay, so let's see. What number do I feel called to? Okay, so I am feeling called to number 30, and the number has been chosen by Debu. Thank you for choosing that number, Debu, for all of us. So let's see what wants to come through this page. Page number is 30. So, the author says unhappiness itself is not the problem. It is an inherent and unavoidable part of being alive. Rather, it's the harshly negative views of ourselves that can be switched on by unhappy moods that entangle us. Once these harsh negative views of ourselves are activated, not only do they affect our mind, they also have profound effects on our body. And then the body, in turn, has profound effects on the mind and emotions. So it is, kind of like a cycle that goes on, that our thoughts affect our, our emotions. Then the emotion aggravate when we see ourselves feeling more sad, then we think about in a more negative manner. So kind of a cycle, forms. And all of this kind of, start with adding suffering to the already existing pain. So there is, I think, this famous saying by Shinzen Yang, as far as I remember, that is the person. So pain into resistance is equals to suffering. So, like, there is this initial pain. So, we all get sad, we all feel anxious, we all have all those, difficult emotions, if I were to take it more generally. We have all of that, but when we add resistance to it, like, I don't want to feel this way, or, I shouldn't feel this way. Like, I am a strong person, why I am feeling anxious about it? Why am I feeling sad? So when we add resistance to what there is already, what already is, then that creates suffering. And I think there was this very clever thing about this equation of pain into resistance is equals to suffering, was that if the resistance is zero, you know, Jacqueline says, makes sense. Thank you, for sharing that. Exactly. So here's the thing, as the author mentioned, that the unhappiness itself is not the problem. It is inherent and unavoidable part of life. And not only unhappiness, any other emotion. It is a part of being human. So we cannot avoid that. But when we try to either suppress that, add resistance to it, either internally or externally, but trying to avoid the triggers that trigger that emotion within us, then the suffering starts. Because then, if we are applying the resistance in an outward manner, then we are trying to limit our life. We are limiting our life, and we are, avoiding all of these things because this might trigger me, this might trigger me, this might make me unhappy. So I'm avoiding all of it, and I just live in my little bubble. So I'm limiting my life in that manner. And if we drop the resistance and instead bring in some compassion, then you will notice that the situation would be a whole lot better. You would not have any additional suffering. Instead, you would have that space or the capacity to hold the initial pain, the unavoidable pain, that usually gets triggered in our life, that we usually feel. So, what I want you to carry away from this is to reduce the resistance, let go of that resistance and bring in some acceptance of what is. Firstly, we all need that. And then once we see that, okay, here is anxiety again, or I'm feeling sad again, then just holding that in compassion, you know, being more kind to yourself rather than criticizing yourself, that why am I like this? Why I always end up feeling this way, why I can get better, why life is this way, why other people are this way. So, this is also a way of resisting. So, letting go of that, accepting what is, and then being compassionate that it is so hard for me to go through this. It hurts, to feel this pain. Just acknowledging that can make a lot of difference. And that can also show you your own capacity to hold that pain. Jacqueline says, what we resist persists. Exactly, exactly. Dolly says, just what I need to hear. Thank you. I'm glad, Dolly, that I always, love listening to this, love, receiving this, that you got what you needed. That is, I guess, the biggest compliment that I can ever get. That in the space, you met your need, you received that. So thank you, Dolly, for that. Thank you, Jacqueline, for the donation. I so appreciate it. Thank you for your support. Your donation really helps me, keep this going, and it means a lot. And I wish you that this love and abundance that you shared with me and that you share with me in, different lives, Jacqueline, just, multifolds and impacts all these different areas of your life and just blossoms. Jacqueline says, you're welcome. And as always, thank you. Um, Amber says, ooh, self-compassion, a big one for many. Exactly, there have been so much research on this, a load of research proving that how beneficial it is. And yet, somehow we have learned that the only way to change, the only way to motivate, the only way to do the right things is by criticizing ourselves, it's by being hard on ourselves, it's by, you know, just berating ourselves. And actually, that don't work. If you look into the research, that won't work. At least not in at least not in like long term. And like in the previous live, I also covered that part, which really helped people understand, you know, how that critical voice really got into your system and how much it is depriving you of. So maybe, in case you would like to check out that live, you can do so. I like record these lives. I'm recording this one as well. So you can tune into the replay. In a moment, like towards the end, I will let you know how you can do so. Okay, coming back, Lindsay says, I am quick to look at all of my flaws rather than embracing all the beautiful qualities I have. I definitely needed to hear this. Oh, thank you so much, Lindsay, for sharing that with me. And let's say, why don't you share your top three qualities here right now? Let's put this to action. Can you share what you love about Lindsay? What you love about yourself. Can you share three things in the comments? Debu says, thank you for answering my question. That is what I was asking. Wonderful. Yeah, amazing, that those answers came to you, that you got in the right place at the right time. So Lindsay is compassionate, funny, and adventurous. Ooh, nice combination. Yeah, so Lindsay, when you say you're compassionate, maybe you're more compassionate towards others than yourself. Is that so? And if not, then that's wonderful, if you already are so much compassionate to yourself. Okay, until she answers, let me read other people's comment. Beverly says, hello, Anisha. Been listening a while. Thank you, Beverly, for tuning in again. It's so nice to see you here. Amber says, Lindsay, thanks for allowing vulnerability and sharing here. Yeah, it's so amazing what when we share our own, you know, our own innermost thoughts, then how we never know how it might impact others, how it might make others feel less alone. Lindsay says, yes, I have been a nurse for over 20 years. I have dedicated myself to caring for others, but forget about myself sometimes. Yeah, that happens. Sometimes people are good at being compassionate towards others, but not themselves. So at least we now know that you have compassion within you. All you need to do is to also turn it towards yourself. Okay. So let's see. Let's do one more reading and then we can wrap up. Jacqueline says compassion for and towards others and grace for and towards ourselves. Yeah, yeah. Maybe carrying that intention, maybe all of us can carry that intention with us as we go through our day. Okay, I'm going to just scroll back to the numbers that you gave. So if anyone new has joined, and if you would also like me to, go through your numbers, so you can do so. You can share whatever number between 24 to 240 you feel called to, that is coming up for you between 24 and 240. And yeah, and we can, choose a number for you. Or, we can just consider your number amongst all the numbers. And you can be a source for wisdom for all of us. Lindsay says, most definitely, Jacqueline. Jacqueline says, I have to go now. Have a wonderful, beautiful day, everyone. Thank you, Jacqueline, for tuning in. Thank you so much. And yeah, and thank you for your donation again. And I hope that you have a wonderful day or night, whatever, is there in your area. Hmm. Okay, so thank you, Sila, Debbie, and Beverly for adding to the numbers. And let's do the last reading for us today. And after that, I'm going to make a few announcements, especially for anyone who is joining us new time, for the first time. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm feeling called to 77 that has been chosen by Beverly for all of us. Thank you so much, Lindsay, for your kind donation. I so appreciate that. Thank you for your presence and all this generosity. And I really wish that, the love that you have shared with me, the happy energy, the joyful energy that you have shared with me, the abundance multiplies and touches all the different areas of your life. So let's see. Noni says, yeah, I was thinking 77. Okay, so since there is alignment, we have another confirmation. Let's go with Beverly and Noni's number, which is 77. Let's see what 77 has for all of us here today. Hmm. So in this like book, um, which is written by like four authors, including John Kabat-Zinn and John Teasdale, Mark Williams, and all of the other people. So we have like a paragraph which has been taken by Thich Nhat Hanh. So he was another teacher. Um, so let's see what you know. Yeah, Beverly 77, your number. So thank you for being the source of wisdom for all of us. So the title of this, like subtitle of this, is Peace. And Thich Nhat Hanh says, peace can exist only in the present moment. It is ridiculous to say, wait until I find this, then I will be free to live in peace. What is this? You know, when you say, wait until I find this, then I will be free to live in peace. So the author asks, what is this? A diploma, a job, a house, the payment of a debt? If you think that way, peace will never come. There is always another this that will follow the present one. If you are not living in peace at this moment, you will never be able to. If you truly want to be at peace, you must be at peace right now. Otherwise, there is only the hope of peace someday. And this is very true, if we reflect on our life. And it is not supposed to be like, pessimistic. So, what the author says here isn't supposed to be pessimistic, but the author is trying to highlight the reality of our life, when we are like, I will be happy once this happens, once I get this, once I figure this out, or if only I have this, then I will be peaceful, then I will be happy, then I will, be free. So when we have all of these conditions, so we have put all of these conditions on our happiness, on peace. And it's not that you cannot feel peaceful right now. It's not that you can not feel joy right now. You can. But now you have just placed, so there was this piece always in your reach, but you placed a wall. So now you cannot just see it. You cannot see that piece. And that wall and all those conditions that you place are all those this, that you need to have, that you need to do in order to get here. And I guess this connects us back to the, previous reading, the first reading that we did today. And it was about gaining clarity of this, what would peace look like for you in this case, or what would joy look like, what would a joyful life look like, what would a peaceful life look like. Lindsay says we forget to live in the moment and appreciate what is in front of us. Most of society is always wanting more, not feeling whole. Exactly, love that. Yeah, so most of the society is always wanting more, not feeling whole with what they already have. Exactly, we are always focusing on the lack. Either it is, the lack that is within us, what we are missing, or what is missing from our lives. And we feel like in order to be peaceful, in order to be a certain way, we need to do or have all of these things. We need to fulfill these conditions. Amber says, one more read from 71, please. Okay, Amber, let's do that for you. So, hmm. So since Amber is requesting another reading, and yeah, since Amber is one of my like constant, so let's do that for you. Just a second. Yeah. Okay. So the title or the subtitle of this is The Fresh Air of Awareness. So the author says, for most of us, a typical day involves hurrying from task to task, forgetting that there are other possibilities for us. Even a tiny bit of mindfulness brought to any moment can wake us up, thus subverting the moment, thus subverting the momentum of doing for at least one moment. And that's all we need to be concerned about. We don't have to stop what we are doing. We simply bring greater moment to moment, non judging, wise awareness to our unfolding moments. The solution to our mood problems may not require heroic attempts to change our inner feeling, to change our inner feeling world or the outer world of people, places, and jobs. Rather, it may simply involve a shift in the way we pay attention to all of them. If you have ever bought an old house or know someone who has, you will know that dry rot is a major concern. If dry rot has got into the wooden fabric of a house, it can be devastating. One of the recurring themes of the surveyors who advise people on how to deal with it is that air circulation is very important. Dry rot spores cannot survive well when there is a fairly constant exposure of fresh air. A surveyor will advise the buyer to install air vents and other devices for keeping the timber well ventilated. The spores are still around and may settle on the wood. Again, the spores are still around and may settle on the wood, but with fresh air around, but with fresh air around, they will not thrive. In a similar way, we could say that stress, fatigue, and afflictive emotions thrive in the absence of the fresh air of awareness. It is not that with awareness they cease to exist, but that awareness puts more space around them, and such spaciousness, like fresh air to the spores, provide an environment in which the self diminishing and constricting frames of mind no longer thrive. Mindfulness detects them early on, sees them more clearly, and notices how they arise and pass away. It offers us a way of seeing them, of, of seeing them clearly. Sorry. Oh, okay, give me a moment to drink some water. Mindfulness offers us a way of seeing them clearly without having to get caught in them. We don't usually inhabit or even visit this dimension of our minds. the dimension of awareness itself, in spite of the fact that it is an intimate part of us, although it is a powerful capacity we all have, we mostly ignore it. So, the author has given us the answer to how to be peaceful in this present moment, and that is about bringing mindfulness even to the task, that you're doing. So, again, you don't have to stop what you're doing. We are not asking you, anybody is not asking you to become passive and not do anything because, you can be just happy and peaceful, which you can be. But we are asking you here to, if you even bring mindfulness to the task that you are doing, it can be, for example, like a house chore, like, washing dishes. Um, so if you can even just bring mindfulness to that act itself, you can find peace in that. The task that used to make you feel frustrated or that used to make you feel bored can become super interesting, and you will feel even more alive than you would feel, while doing anything else in your life. And and you don't have to do anything, I'm not asking you to do anything that you don't do already with your dishes. All we are asking you to do is to bring your awareness to that task. So when you pick a dish to wash it, just feel the weight of it. So instead of letting your mind think about the TV show that you're missing, or the all the other tasks that you have to do, just bring your awareness to that in that moment, and notice the weight of the plate, the weight of the glass, see the color of it, the pattern on it. you know Maybe when you chose to buy that plate, you put a lot of time into that. Just I should I bought this dinner set or should I buy this one? Or maybe someone who gifted that to you, put a lot of time into that. That would this person like this one or that one? So appreciating that, just looking at the patterns. Exactly, Beverly says, like focusing on where working surfaces meet. Exactly, and yeah, noticing when you like noticing the smell of the detergent, or like what do we say? Yeah, detergent only. Yeah, the detergent with which you wash the dishes. Noticing the smell of it, noticing the texture of it on your palm, noticing the bubbles that are getting formed, the foam that is getting formed on the plate, on the glass. Noticing the rainbow colors in those bubbles. So there is beauty around us. We can feel alive in any moment. But we have put these conditions again, that once I do this, then I would feel, peaceful. Then I would feel more alive. Once I go traveling, then I would feel more alive. And yes, that, fulfills you. That is an important element and that you can add, but you can still tune into it right now as well. So, yeah, I think we got an answer. And I hope, Amber, you got what you needed from this reading today. Let's see. Ayu says, hello from Indonesia. Hi, Ayu. Welcome. I'm glad that you decided to tune in. Even though we are ending, like we are around the end of this live, but I want to let you know that this live has been like recorded. So, um, yeah, so let me tell you where you can access the recordings. And I also would like to like make some announcements after that. So stay tuned for a few more minutes. Okay. So how you can access the replay or the video recording of this is you can go to my profile, go to the about section. Okay. Scroll all the way down and you will see a link tree here. So when you click on the link tree, you will see Wheel of Wisdom replay there. So when you will click on that, you will see like a whole playlist of Wheel of Wisdom. So this is the 56th episode of Wheel of Wisdom. So you will see all the, previous episodes that we started in January, this January 2025. And why I have created that playlist is for you to develop a connection with your intuition. Meaning that, when you're going through your life and you would like some guidance, and maybe I'm not live, but you would like to tune into this energy, then you can just open that playlist and choose a number between 1 to 56. And whatever number comes up, you can watch that particular video knowing that that is the piece of wisdom that wanted to reach you today. Amber says, love to you, dear listeners and reader. Ciao for now. Thank you, Amber, for tuning in. And yeah, have a great day and evening. Okay. Yeah. So that is a way to, access the replays if you have missed the meditation, if you have missed any reading, if you would like to just go back or maybe tune into previous lives. But like the live do take like 1 hour to get uploaded on my channel. So if you would like immediate access, then what you can do is that I have a group on Insight Timer known as Wonderful Beings. Let me type it for you. So you can either search for it on Insight Timer, or you can again go to my profile, scroll all the way down. By the way, guys, I am like, so in each live we do at least one, meditation. And now I've recorded approximately 65 meditations or so. So what I'm doing is that I'm releasing them one by one on Insight Timer. So yeah, this is the latest meditation that came out this week. And one meditation at least, comes out every week. So yeah, if you would like to get notified about these tracks coming out, then you can follow me to get notified. So I have also like created a playlist of all of these tracks. Let's see. Yeah, here Wheel of Wisdom meditation. So you can access it here from here as well. So yeah, I was telling you about the group. So when you scroll all the way down, you will see wonderful beings. So this is my little community on Insight Timer. And if you would like to, get access to the readings that we did today, or know what type of meditation that we practiced today, or just get a summary of the live, then you can join this group, because after each live within like 5 minutes or 10 minutes I upload the summary of each live in this group. And I also like mention any updates around my lives, or whenever any track is released, I update that there. So yeah, I would be so grateful to have you in my community there. So that is that. And mm, Beverly says, Amber, have beautiful now moments. Wow, what a wonderful wish, given what we discussed today. And by the way, yeah, I do remember. So, guys, I actually have a course on Insight Timer. If you're interested in, becoming more mindful or feeling more alive, or including mindfulness in your day to day task. So, I have like two courses in relation to that. Would you guys like me to, mention the names of it? Because if you don't, then, I won't, I won't do that. Lindsay says, thank you, Anisha. I always feel lighter after your live class. Oh, thank you, Lindsay. It's so nice. I always love having you. Yeah, it's always a joy. Love interacting with you. Hi, Leah. Hi, welcome. I'm glad that, you tuned into this live. You decided to tune into this live from UK. Although we are ending this live, but, you can check out the replays by, because this is getting recorded. So you can check out the replay of it by going into the about section of my profile. My name is Anisha Maheshwari, and you will see a link tree here. So when you will click on that, you will access the replays. Lindsay says yes, please. Beverly says yes, please. Do mention the courses. Do mention the courses. Okay. So the courses to help you become more mindful in your daily life. Are this, let me share it in the comments. So you can first start with this course. You can take a screenshot or just, click on it and you can save it. Leah says, I need some sanity. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm sorry to hear that, Leah, that, you are going through a difficult time right now. Maybe, since we are about to end and it's like quite overtime, you can, all I can advise you right now is to maybe go through the replay and, check out the meditation that can help you with that. Or, or maybe let's do this for you. Just, Leah, can you place a hand on your heart and connect with your heart beating? Notice if you can feel the heartbeats. And with each heartbeat, know that life wants you here. Feel welcomed by life no matter what the circumstances that you're going through. But know that if you're alive, if your heart is beating right now, then everything is fine with you. You are not broken, you're whole, you're complete. You don't lack anything. And now allow your attention to rest on your breath, feeling supported with each breath that you take. Each breath being a reminder that the universe wants you here. And continue to take deep breaths like this. Okay, so coming back to the comments, while Leah can feel anchored in her breath. Lindsay has downloaded the course. Wonderful. Let's see. Anyone else can, if you would like, you can also save or download the course before I, mention the other course because this course would have to disappear for that. Okay, Beverly has also saved it. Okay, wonderful. Leah has also saved it. So let me mention the other course that can help you, you know, become more present and feel more alive in this moment as you go through the task of your day. And the best thing about, mindfulness or these courses are that you don't need to change a thing. You don't need to add anything. We are not adding anything to your life. We are enriching your life with what it what already is, in your life. So feel free to save this and let me know so I can, remove this one as well. And as you do so, I'm going to make an announcement here until, you get the time to save it or download it or whatever you need to do. So I want to let all the women present here know that I am currently offering a free 1 hour coaching session to all the women. So, if you would like a complimentary session, if you would like to have a powerful conversation with me, then you can do so by messaging me on Insight Timer. So, let me show how you guys can message me if anyone is interested. You can go to my profile, which is Anisha Maheshwari. Let me put it up here. Okay. By the way, you might also like be able to access it. There might be option, so I don't need to put it up here. But yeah, so when you go to my profile, Anisha Maheshwari, and if you're already following me, you would see that the follow button would become donate button, and you will see three dots appear above it. Okay, so click on the three dots and go to message teacher option, and then you can message me, Anisha, that I'm interested, in the complimentary session or something like that. And yeah, we can schedule, the session. So, let's see. And by the way, I can promise you one thing, that you're going to leave with at least one powerful insight from that session, because that has happened with every single woman that I've worked with. So yeah, that I can promise, to you. And if you are not a woman, if you're a man, if you belong to LGBTQIA plus community, or if you are, below 18, then you can check out my other things, so you can check out my other free offerings, like, you can check out all these courses or tracks. So I have like 7 courses on Insight Timer related to some, what I mentioned, related to mindfulness, and also related to overcoming your negative thoughts or overcoming your limiting beliefs. So you can check that out. And I also have like created playlist for you guys. So if you're interested in that, so like I have created a mindfulness, meditation playlist. It is a 15-day challenge and it has all the free tracks. So no premium one in this one. And then there is self-soothing technique. So it has like the emotion regulation techniques that, therapists recommend their client to help, deal with the emotions, to regulate themselves. And this one that I mentioned, like, which include all the meditations that we are doing in these lives. So you can check out the playlist or you can check out my other free offerings. So again, in the link tree in my profile, you would see my other offerings. So yeah, if because I only like, do a one-on-one coaching with only women. So yeah, you can check that out. Let's see. So Leah has saved that course. The second one as well. Beverly says that sounds like breaking the habit of being yourself. Saved. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, um, what? So Beverly, like I have another course related to that, especially, related to letting go of those limiting beliefs or that conception of what you have of yourself. And you would find that I'm not mentioning that because it would be too many courses for you. Or like, let me mention it here to make it easier for you. So yeah, this is related to that more if you are interested. Okay, so let me read other comments. Leah says that this is very good. I am a recovering alcoholic, 17 years dry. This will be part of my go-to. Thank you again. Wonderful. I'm glad, that this resonated with you. Lindsay says that's amazing. Thank you. You're welcome, Lindsay. Leah says, I am an addiction coach. Wow, beautiful. That, you have set this intention, you have learned from your experience, and now you're helping others. So thank you. Um, yeah, so yeah, Leah says, I'm an addiction coach. I have a lot of negative thoughts, so this will help. Wonderful. Yeah, so I have like some courses on negative thoughts as well. You can check that out. I will, yeah, you guys might get irritated if I mention all the courses here. So yeah, you can check that out. Let's see. Beverly says, thank you for your kindness and generosity. You're welcome, Beverly. Lauren says, say hi and I will donate 300. Oh, okay. You don't need to like, put a condition on that. I would have anyway said like hi and you're welcome to the space. I'm happy to have you. Leah says, I believe in fate and I clicked on this for a reason. Thank you so much. Yeah, I do believe in that, that if you're here, then you were meant to be. So thank you for being here, everyone. Um, yeah, so I guess that's about all the announcements. Again, this is getting recorded. You can access the replay in the link tree in my profile. Second is that if you want immediate access to the readings or stuff, then you can join my group or little community on Inside Timer, known as Wonderful Beings. And if you would like to get notified about, the next live, which is going to be day after tomorrow, let me, put that one here at the same time as this one, then, you can get notified if you want to get, sorry, you can follow me if you want to get notified about the future lives. I'm doing lives at 2 times. One is this one that you see in the comments, and another is 3 hours earlier than this one. So yeah, and that's it for this live. If you found this live helpful, if you found anything valuable, and if you would like to, support me in continuing to do these lives or in continuing to, give out all the free offerings like the complimentary session or the other stuff. So if you would like to support me in that, then you can do so by clicking on the donate button somewhere here. It might be somewhere below, or okay, let me put it here for your ease. Lindsay says, have a beautiful day, Anisha, and all. Thank you, Lindsay, for tuning in. It is always lovely to have you. And it is lovely to have all of you, Thank you, thank you, all of you, for tuning in and, for staying this long. Um, yeah, it is about to be 2 hours since, we started this live. So thank you for staying here. I so appreciate it. Namaste. Leah says, have a lovely afternoon. You too, Leah. Have a lovely afternoon. Okay. Bye, everyone. Take care. Beverly says, as always, deeply grateful for all you share. Blessings, love, and light. Thank you so much, Beverly. Thank you. I'm always glad to have you, It's nice to see you coming back. Okay, guys. Bye-bye.